We should probably do something with that drum set in case, so we don't have such a choke point at the entrance. My first job of today is to clean up the mess I made last night. Thinking acetone and scraping, followed by mineral spirits and sanding. See where we get.
Time to wax that, I think.
Are those feet?
Yeah.
You're just polishing them, or you're gonna powder coat them?
I'm gonna powder coat them. Clear powder coat. That's my new thing. Like, I used to always lacquer them, and then I discovered that there's all these different kinds of clear powder coat. Way more durable than lacquer, and it's like faster and easier. Actually, it's cheaper too, come to think of it. Yeah, clear powder coat is the way to go. First one of those. We're doing pretty good at not dropping these.
So I've never powder coated before, so that's somewhat interesting.
These are all pretty well covered. Pretty solid, pretty consistent. And they go.
And that looks white, but it's gonna dry clear?
Yeah. Bake, cure, I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's white, but when it flows out, it's clear, and then as it cools and hardens, it's clear.
How long and for what temperature?
It depends on the powder coat, because it can be made of different materials. This stuff needs 18 minutes at 375 degrees. So I was probably gonna set a timer for that.
Good thing your phone has one.
Yeah, because the timers on toaster ovens are never accurate. Fun fact. The thermostats usually aren't either, actually.
So 18 minutes, a little cool down time, and we can taste them.
Yep.
So the top cleaned up easier than I expected, and is in better shape than I expected. So I didn't take the orbital sander to it, I just did it by hand. And now I'm going to coat with Shield T9. I haven't decided if I'm going to let it dry on here, or if I'm going to wipe it off. I guess it depends on if we need to use the saw today or not. Once that penetrates, dries, and it's wiped off, I'll hit it with a coat of Renaissance wax. Looking good. While we wait for that to soak in, I'm going to start on another restoration. This Gretsch snare needs to be cleaned up and reassembled, starting with fixing some loose wrap. I've been meaning to ask, in addition to the sweet 8-ball on the table saw fence, what's up with the styrofoam corner? Is that for your kid's head?
Yeah,
or
yes. It's because when the kids are here, it's like right at Austin's head height.
I thought maybe you had impaled your Scooby snacks.
No, that one's for the kids.
I need a toothpick. 5,000 toothpicks around here somewhere.
Yeah, I think they're in, well, they used to be in here on the table.
Definitely isn't the optimal way to apply contact cement to surfaces, but I do not want to peel this back and make it worse. I think I'm gonna clamp it when it's still wet too. That way it can slide around a bit in position.
Yeah.
It'll just take longer to dry, but that's better than smashing it down and having an oh shit moment. I gotta throw these away or they'll end up in my mouth.
That's what she said.
Alrighty. Let's see how she does. What did we get done today?
Oh man, you somehow didn't actually destroy my table saw.
That's true.
And in fact, it actually ended up better. Which actually is good now. The laminate on the top of that table saw, I have no idea why the previous owner put it there, but for whatever reason he did, but now it's gone finally, because it was terrible. Got this Gretsch drum that belongs to my man Arafat Kazi. Got that almost put back together.
We got this drum.
Yeah, there's a batch of snares
drum?
and a bass for Piscataway Rangers Fife and Drum Corps in New Hampshire. I did final polishing on a couple of those shells. And I did the hopefully last round of polyurethane on the hoops, which are all hanging from the ceiling right now. Let's see. Oh, we wrapped up this giant bass drum. This is all the way done. Woo, that's tuned kind of high right now. Belonged to a guy who used to be like a theater drummer and playing for like silent movies, and a couple generations later the family just had this thing and it was all totally falling apart in disrepair, so we cleaned it up and it did not restore it, but rather just preserved it, got everything clean and functional and back together, and no refinish or anything, left it as it was, just protected it for the future. I think that thing turned out pretty cool.
Before we leave, the powder coated parts.
I got a bunch of road drum hardware made and polished and powder coated from my man Steele in Kentville Drums in Australia. He's been doing more and more rope tension drums for the Australian Navy and for a few other military units around on that side of the planet. We did a bunch of these British style military carry hooks for rope tension drums, some hoop feet. We have these cast locally in Somerville by Mystic Valley Foundry, which if you ever need stuff cast, those dudes are awesome. So yeah, we have the stuff cast locally there and then polish it, powder coat it with a clear powder. So when Steele needs stuff, we send it to him too. So, parts.
Steele's the man.
Steele's the man.